Leading the pack of runners on race day is a custom SUV you can't miss. Artwork on the Chevy Tahoe features the names of any runner who registered before April 1st. Plus landmarks you'll see along the way, like here at the state capitol.
Among the runners are two people who participated in every single Run to Remember since 2001. And they talked with News 9's David Payne about why they keep coming back.
Of the thousands of runners who have run the Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon, there's only about 40
That's so cool. Yeah, ran them all.
that could say they ran them all. Stephen Abernathy and Kevin Stone are two of them. Stephen was a police officer with Midwest City at the time of the bombing.
As soon as we got the green light and came down here to volunteer.
He was never a runner, but back in 2001, when the Memorial Marathon was announced, his uncle asked him to join him in the race.
I didn't even know how far a marathon was, so I thought it was pretty crazy to ask me. But being the inaugural, I thought it would be worth giving it a shot and seeing if it's something that I could do. But when I finished that first marathon, I thought maybe it was a fluke that I was able to get it done. So I thought I'd go back to second year and test that theory.
And he's just kept coming back.
After the bombing, it just felt like I didn't do enough. And this way I can still keep doing and giving and remembering and honoring.
Kevin Stone had already run a couple of marathons back in 2001.
Based on what this one was representing and the purpose of it, then a bunch of us came up and ran the first one.
By 06, the Memorial was already tracking who had run them all, so he couldn't quit. And it's still so much more than a race.
I think this one's special because it's a marathon, but it's about so much more than running. It's about the whole community coming together. My part in the marathon is to run the marathon, but it's no more important than the people that are out on their lawn drinking a cup of coffee, cheering us on. It's about the community coming together and showing resilience.
And the folks who watch Kevin running past notice something a little different. Today, he's training in these sandals, but race day, he's completely barefoot.
You run by houses, after you get past them, people are suddenly like, oh my gosh, that guy didn't have any shoes on. and a lot of people are like, hey, I used to have a pair just like that.
Both have run through all types of weather and minor injuries. Kevin had stomach surgery in February, but both say they'll keep running until they no longer can.
When you start looking at those signs on the course, it's emotional. Yeah. Then you see running in honor of on people's shirts. Yes. Every year.
So David will be keeping track of the top runners on the men's side, and our Lacey Swope will be keeping track of the top female competitors.
And she talked to local business owner, musician, and activist J.B. Williams, who's lacing up for the half.
3, 2, 1.
I'm not a runner, but that's one race I try to run every year.
Right now, Oklahoma City rapper and two-time Emmy Award winner J.B. Williams is training for 13.1 miles in the Run to Remember.
I just run like 2 or 3. I try just to run a couple miles in the morning time, a couple times a week.
JB's been out on the road performing until just a few days before the big race. The music that's been inspiring JB since he first started rapping at 5 years old, now the soundtrack for his training sessions.
I got a Nipsey playlist, a Tupac playlist. I got a Wu-Tang playlist. I'll get excited while I'm running and rapping and realize I'm losing my breath.
But that's not why he's doing this.
When I ran that first time, whenever they had the pictures of the people who died in the bombing, and you're running, you see those faces, and it just it makes you run harder. It makes you like really feel something, and you realize what this is for, what it's about.
Have you ran a half before?
This will be my third. Started running the 5K like 2016, 2017. There are people in my family who always ran every year, and so I just wanted to be part of it.
And after that first race, he was hooked.
Just that feeling of like, man, it's like one big team, but it's like thousands of us, you know what I'm saying? I get to do a lot of stuff in my life, and that's one thing that I do that I can't even explain the feeling, It's emotional.
You can track your favorite runner on race day with the free Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon app. It'll give you live updates from start to finish in real time. Sports director Dean Blevins shows us which runners could be competing for first place this year.
Previous marathon winners are at the top of the list to watch again. For the women, Mikhail Montgomery from Stillwater is an early favorite. She set the women's course record last year at 2 hours, 41 minutes. Mikhail also won the Memorial Marathon in 2013. On the men's side, another Stillwater product, Bryant Kearns. He won the men's marathon last year, finishing in 2 hours, 24 minutes. He's running the half this year. Another guy to keep an eye on, Jerry Faulkner. He's fresh off a win at the Classic Dualathon in New York City last month. He also won the Memorial Marathon in 2006.
Don't go away. We are walking you through the best places on the course to watch the race, plus the most popular spot on the course, how Gorilla Hill became a race day tradition.